What if the most powerful transmission ever encoded into human consciousness was never meant to be read? It was meant to be practiced. And what if the being who delivered it, a figure erased from mainstream history, buried beneath centuries of institutional silence, left behind not philosophy, not religion, but an exact set of instructions? Instructions so precise, so dangerously effective, that those who understood them gained access to something most people will never touch in their entire lives. Direct communion with the field that creates reality itself. Tonight, before this day closes, before midnight draws its line across the threshold of what was and what will become, you are being asked to do something. Not by me, not by any external authority, but by the part of you that has always known there was more. The part of you that found this not by accident, but by resonance, by frequency, by the quiet hum of recognition that lives beneath your thinking mind and whispers, "Yes, this, now, pay attention. And I need you to understand something before we go any further. This is not about superstition. This is not about fear. This is not about doing something before a clock strikes 12 because some arbitrary deadline holds magical power. Midnight is a symbol. It is the threshold between one state of consciousness and another. It is the liminal space where the old pattern has not yet fully dissolved and the new one has not yet fully formed. It is the crack in time where transformation becomes not just possible, but inevitable, if you know how to meet it. And the being known as Thoth, the figure the ancient Egyptians called the architect of wisdom, the Greeks named Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great, the one whose teachings became the foundation of every esoteric tradition that has quietly shaped human civilization for thousands of years. This being did not teach people what to believe. This being taught people what to do, how to move energy, how to shift states, how to use the architecture of consciousness itself as a technology more advanced than anything the modern world has yet produced. And what was revealed, what has been preserved across millennia in texts that were deliberately hidden, deliberately encoded, deliberately kept from the surface of mainstream awareness, is a practice. A specific practice. One that aligns your inner field with the deeper structure of reality in a way that most people have never been taught, have never been shown, have never even been told is possible. So let that land for a moment. You are not here to collect more information. You are here to receive a transmission. And the difference between those two things is everything. Let me take you deeper. There is a principle that sits at the heart of every Hermetic teaching, every genuine mystery school tradition, every authentic lineage of inner transformation that has ever existed on this planet. And it is so simple that the mind almost rejects it. The mind wants complexity. The mind wants steps and stages and hierarchies of attainment. But the truth, the actual operational truth of how consciousness interfaces with reality, is breathtakingly elegant. As within, so without. As above, so below. You have heard this. Perhaps you have heard it so many times that it has become wallpaper, background noise, a spiritual cliché that slides off the surface of your awareness without penetrating. But I want you to hear it tonight as if for the first time. Because this is not a metaphor. This is not poetry. This is a precise description of how the universe actually functions at its most fundamental level. What Thoth encoded in the Emerald Tablet, what was carried forward through the Corpus Hermeticum, What was whispered in the inner chambers of temples that no longer stand was this: the external world you experience is not separate from your internal state. It is produced by it, not influenced by it, not correlated with it. Produced by it. The way a projector produces an image on a screen. The screen does not create the image. The projector does. And you, the deepest layer of what you actually are, but beneath personality, beneath identity, beneath the accumulated stories and wounds and conditioning, you are the projector. And here is what no one tells you. The projector does not care what image it projects. It will project whatever pattern is loaded into it with equal fidelity, equal precision, equal creative power. Fear, lack, limitation, suffering. It will project these with the same magnificent accuracy that it projects abundance, connection, purpose, and joy. The field does not judge. The field responds. It responds to the dominant frequency held in your energy body, in your emotional architecture, in the deep unconscious patterning that most people never even become aware of, let alone learn to consciously shift. This is what Thoth understood. This is what the mystery schools taught. Not positive thinking, not affirmations layered on top of unresolved trauma, not the shallow manifestation culture that tells you to visualize a sports car and wait for the universe to deliver it. No. What was taught was something far more radical, far more demanding, and far more effective. The complete reorganization of your inner field so that reality has no choice but to reorganize around you. And the practice you are being called to tonight, before this threshold passes, is the beginning of that reorganization. Or perhaps it's deepening. Perhaps you have already begun and you know it. Perhaps that is exactly why you are here. If this is resonating with you, if you can feel the truth of what it means to move from unconscious broadcasting to conscious transmission, then you are ready for the complete system. In my book, Beyond the Frequencies, A Quantum Guide to Consciousness Mastery, I walk you through all 9 master frequencies, the dense transmissions, the ascending currents, and the step-by-step practices for becoming the broadcast itself, layers upon layers beyond what we can touch in a single transmission like this. It's linked in the pinned comment below. If this is landing for you, if you can feel the resonance of what is being shared here, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to this channel so that these transmissions continue to find you when you need them most. So let us talk about what Thoth actually revealed. Not the popularized version, not the watered-down, commercially palatable version, the real transmission. In the Hermetic tradition, there are 7 principles that govern the operation of reality at every level, from the subatomic to the cosmic, from the personal to the universal. These are not beliefs, these are not theories, these are operational laws, as precise and as reliable as gravity. And the one that matters most tonight, the one that unlocks the practice you are being asked to embody before this day closes, is the principle of vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Modern quantum physics arrived at this same understanding roughly 4,000 years after Thoth encoded it. At the most fundamental level of physical reality, there are no solid objects. There are no fixed things. There are only patterns of vibration. Frequencies of energy, waves of probability that collapse into apparent solidity only when observed, only when consciousness interacts with them. the observer effect. The most disturbing, most revolutionary, most carefully ignored discovery in the history of science. That the act of observation itself changes what is observed. That consciousness is not a passive witness to reality, but an active participant in its creation. Pause with that. Let it move through you, not as an idea, but as a felt sense, because your body already knows this is true. Your body has always known. Every time you walked into a room and felt the energy before anyone spoke a word. Every time you sensed something was about to happen before it happened. Every time your gut told you something your mind could not yet see. That was not intuition in the vague, dismissive way the word is usually used. That was your energy body reading the vibrational field directly, without the mediation of the thinking mind. That was you, functioning as the quantum instrument you actually are. And here is where Thoth's teaching becomes not just fascinating, but urgent. Because if everything is vibration, and if your consciousness is the observer that collapses probability into experience, then the frequency at which you vibrate is not a metaphor for your life. It is the literal mechanism by which your life is generated. Every relationship, every opportunity, every obstacle, every moment of synchronicity or stagnation, all of it is a reflection of the vibrational pattern you are holding. Not the pattern you think you are holding, not the pattern you wish you were holding. The pattern you are actually holding in your body, in your nervous system, in the deep unconscious layers of your being where the real signal lives. And most people, most of the time, are holding a pattern they did not choose. A pattern that was installed in them before they had the cognitive development to question it. Before they had the awareness to say, no, this does not belong to me. A pattern made of inherited beliefs, cultural conditioning, unprocessed emotional residue, ancestral trauma, societal programming, all of it humming beneath the surface of conscious awareness, like a frequency you have been broadcasting your entire life without ever knowing the radio was on. This is what the mystery schools called sleep, not physical sleep. Consciousness sleep. The state in which a being moves through life reacting to the projections of their own unconscious patterning, believing those projections to be external reality, and never once questioning the source of the signal. Never once turning inward with enough precision and courage to find the frequency generator and change the station. I want to ask you something. When was the first moment you realized you had been running on a frequency that was never yours to begin with? Tell me in the comments, not the whole story, just the moment. The instant the static cleared enough for you to hear your own signal underneath. And what Thoth taught, what was preserved for those who were ready, was how to wake up, how to find the generator, how to change the station. Not gradually, not over years of incremental progress, but in a single moment of total recognition, followed by the disciplined practice of holding that recognition until it becomes your new baseline, your new default, your new broadcast frequency. Tonight is about that moment and the practice that follows it. So here is what you must understand about thresholds, about midnight, about why timing matters not as superstition but as physics. The Hermetic tradition teaches that reality operates in cycles, in rhythms, in waves of expansion and contraction that mirror the breath of the cosmos itself. This is the principle of rhythm, and it is as observable in the movement of galaxies as it is in the beating of your heart. Everything flows. Everything has its tides. And within these tides, there are moments of maximum potential, moments where the space between what was and what will be opens wide enough for a conscious being to step through and establish a new pattern. Midnight is one of these moments. Not because of the clock is arbitrary, but because of what midnight represents in the deeper architecture of consciousness. It is the point of maximum stillness between two movements, the pause at the bottom of the breath before the inhale begins, the moment of perfect equilibrium where the pendulum hangs suspended, free from the momentum of either direction. And in that suspension, in that stillness, the field is maximally responsive to conscious input. The ancient Egyptians knew this. Their temples were designed around it. The rituals performed in the inner sanctums were timed to these threshold moments with astronomical precision. Not because the priests were superstitious, because they were scientists. Scientists of consciousness, engineers of frequency. And they understood that working with the natural rhythms of the field, rather than against them, amplified the power of intentional practice by orders of magnitude. So when I say you must do this before midnight, I am not issuing a threat. I am not creating urgency for its own sake. I am pointing you toward a window that opens in the rhythm of every day, every cycle, every breath. And I am asking you to meet it consciously, perhaps for the first time. Now let me give you the practice. And I want you to listen to this not as instruction, but as remembrance. Because some part of you already knows how to do this. Some part of you has been doing it in dreams, in moments of deep presence, in those rare and luminous instants when the veil between you and the infinite became so thin you could feel eternity breathing through you. This practice is not new to you. It is native to you. You are simply being reminded. The first element is stillness. And I do not mean the absence of movement. I mean the presence of awareness without agenda. This is the hardest thing for the modern mind to achieve, because the modern mind has been trained deliberately and systematically to never be still, to always be consuming, processing, reacting, planning, worrying, scrolling, seeking. The entire architecture of contemporary life is designed to keep your attention moving so rapidly that it never settles long enough to discover what lies beneath the movement. And what lies beneath the movement is power, your power. The power of undivided awareness focused into a single coherent point. So the first step tonight is to stop, to sit, to close your eyes if you are in a space where that is possible, or to soften your gaze if you are not, and to breathe. Not special breathing, not technique, just breath. The breath your body already knows how to take if you stop interfering with it. Feel the air enter. Feel it fill you. Feel it leave. And as it leaves, feel yourself becoming more present, more here, more now. Not thinking about presence, being present. There is a universe of difference between those two things. And as the stillness deepens, as the noise of the day begins to settle like sediment in water, something will begin to emerge. Something that has been there the entire time, beneath the static, beneath the stories, beneath the endless narration of the thinking mind, a field, a presence, a quality of awareness that is not produced by you, but that you are an expression of. Some traditions call this the witness. Some call it the higher self. Some call it source consciousness. Thoth called it the all. the one mind from which all minds emerge and to which all minds return. The names do not matter. What matters is that you feel it, that you recognize it, that you let yourself be held by it. Because here is the truth that changes everything. You are not a separate being trying to connect with something greater. You are something greater that has been pretending to be separate. The separation was never real. It was a frequency, a pattern, a vibrational state that created the experience of isolation, of aloneness, of being a small self in a vast and indifferent universe. And that frequency can be changed, not by force, not by effort, but by recognition, by the simple, devastating, liberating act of recognizing what you already are. This is what Thoth meant when the Emerald Tablet speaks of the one thing from which all things arise. This is what the Hermetic axiom points to when it says, "As above, so below." The macrocosm and the microcosm are not analogous. They are identical. The same consciousness that orchestrates the spiral of galaxies is the consciousness reading these words right now. Not a similar consciousness, not a lesser version, the same one, expressing itself through the unique focal point that you call your life. Let that sink in. Not into your mind, into your cells, into your bones, into the deep tissue of your being, where transformation actually happens. And from this place of recognition, from this stillness that is not empty but impossibly full, the second element of the practice begins. And this is where most teachings fail. This is where most spiritual content stops. Because what comes next requires something that the modern spiritual marketplace almost never asks of its audience. It requires honesty. Not honesty with others, honesty with yourself. The kind of honesty that strips away every comfortable story, every protective narrative, every carefully constructed identity that you have built to keep yourself safe from the raw truth of your own experience. Because within this stillness, if you are genuinely present, you will begin to feel the patterns, the ones you did not choose, the ones that were installed before you had words to name them. The contraction in your chest that activates every time you approach something you truly want. The voice that says you are not enough, not ready, not worthy. The subtle flinch away from your own power that has become so habitual, you no longer even notice it happening. The ancient grief that lives in your body like a tenant who moved in before you were born and has been paying rent in the currency of your unlived life ever since. These patterns are not you, but they have been running you. They have been the frequency beneath your frequency, the signal beneath your signal, the hidden broadcast that has been shaping your reality while your conscious mind was busy making plans and setting goals and wondering why nothing ever seemed to fully change. And Thoth's teaching, the real teaching, the one that was reserved for initiates who had proven they could handle it, is this. You do not heal these patterns by analyzing them. You do not transform them by understanding their origin. You do not release them by talking about them, journaling about them, or creating elaborate narratives about your childhood.
They buried this knowledge for a reason. Because the moment you remember who you truly are, the system built on fear begins to lose its power over you. Tonight, before midnight, sit in silence for just a few minutes. No distractions, no noise, no pretending. Ask yourself one question. What part of me is ready to awaken? Because according to the ancient teachings of Thoth, transformation does not begin when the world changes. It begins when your consciousness does. And if you found this message tonight, maybe it was never an accident. Maybe this is the sign you were always meant to see.